Hello builders and fellow metaverse travelers, so welcome to another Oasis Metagames world building tutorial for Somnium Space. Today we are going to learn basics of post-processing in Unity. What you can see here in this scene is the end result we will create. And this is where we start, so let's get to it. One important point in the beginning is that I will be doing it in the game mode, so you can see the cars animating, these effects and other things. So it's nice for demonstration, but you don't want to do it like that, because once you exit the play mode, the game mode, everything will reset to original. So your fork will be undone, so you don't want to do that. But for demonstration purposes, we will do it like this. Setting up post-processing in Unity is super simple. Two-step process. First, create empty game object, call it postprocess, then put it on zeros. This is optional, but nice. Super important, put it on postprocess layer. Needs to be postprocess layer. Well, makes sense, right? Then add component, postprocess volume. Make it global for simplicity. New, create new post-process profile. No, we already have post-processing set up. Then add effect, and let's add the best one, color grading. It can do huge things for you. So for example, you can click on mode and ACs. This does huge things, but well, it doesn't do anything here. Why? Because we need to do step number 2, and that's on camera. You need camera in your scene. If you don't have it, well, it will still work in Somnium, but you will not be able to see anything. So yeah, that sucks. So click on your camera, add component, layer, and now change one thing here on the layer, put post-process. Wonderful, awesome. You can see, so when you click back on post-process, you can see the difference. It's already quite nice. You can see the colors changed a little bit. Yeah, we can fix all of that. Congratulations, we have post-process set up. This is it. There's no more stuff. But yeah, I will show you what different stuff do and how to make it look nice. But this is it. This is all you need to set up the post process. So let's get to it. Let's play with some of these stuff. And really, the best way how to learn to work with this is just to play with it and see what happens. So because we have sci-fi scene, I want to put it maybe a little bit more to the blue area. That's usually associated with sci-fi scenes, because yeah, there's nothing in nature or not much in nature that's blue. Or if you would have something different, you can make it warmer. So yeah, this is what this temperature does. Okay, now you can make it darker and brighter. So yeah, maybe make it a little bit darker. You can play with this saturation and contrast. What this does, yeah, just play with it and you will see. Just saturation, get a little bit more color. Maybe, yeah, looks nice. Contrast, well, just adds contrast, you know. You can make it a little bit more like this, or a little bit more like this. So yeah, you can play with it quite a lot. Because like with the saturation, you can also like completely make it black and white if you are into these kind of things. So that's nice. You can play with these colors a lot, and this is huge. Like, you don't need to use any other effects, and already you can make it quite awesome. So it's this one, and then really good one is also bloom. We don't have many glowing things in this scene, but if you will have some guns, some special effects or something like that, you will usually want to use bloom. So let's set it up. You can see a couple of these neons, they will light up. What I like to use, so a lot of setups here, I like to use the intensity threshold, which usually you want to put over 1, like 1 or more. So it's basically where it starts shining. If you put it really low, then other stuff in your scene start to shine. So here you can see that even like everything starts to shine. So yeah, you can get a lot of bloom from this. So it's usually not what you want. Also, you can get like reflections, shine, and yeah, it can like chrome. If you have chrome in your scene and you want to make it shine, you can use this as well, because the reflections get the boost as well. But usually I put it on 1, 1.5 or something like that. Intensity 1, 1.5 is plenty, and the diffusion is actually quite nice because you can get it basically how far the glow effect goes. So often I want to limit it more, because also tablet in Somnium is quite bright, and if you put it on 1 or even 1.5, it will still bloom. It will still have this glowing effect. And if you let it quite high, then it will be difficult to read for people. So yeah, it's nice trick to put the diffusion low, but yeah, whatever works for your particular world. Also, when you play with these, I usually forget how it looked like in the beginning, and you can start getting confused. Does it look actually like good or not? Yeah, you can just turn it off and on, and you can see, okay, yeah, this looks nice. And here, I don't know if you can see it with the resolution, but you're actually getting some reflections here on these that are blooming as well. So yeah, that's bloom. There's a ton of other effects. You can play with them. Ambient occlusion is quite nice. Can be like, it's not so cheap computationally wise, but yeah, you can do nice stuff with it. It will not work very well with this scene. Basically in the corners and so on, they will get more darker, and you can create a very nice scene in some better or more lighted areas. Here I already work with the light in different way. A lot of other stuff, feel free to play with it. Let's keep this tutorial really simple. So yeah, basically like with these two, the color grading and bloom, you can do huge stuff for your scene. So you can disable the post-process to see how it looked originally, and now, yeah, so it's quite more dark and so on. But it's still not it, because like the buildings at the distance, yeah, they don't have any textures. Like, why don't they have any textures? They are supposed to be sort of in the fog. So and also you can see that we are actually not part of the big city, but there's this line sort of where it breaks. So we are on sort of island, and it can be seen. So what we want here is to create sort of fog that will blend the far away areas into the fog, and it will look nice. So what I mean by that and how to do it. So here on the window rendering lighting setting, you can get all kind of cool stuff. You can keep it like this, or you can drag and drop it into the inspector, or in the same place where the inspector is, and you can play with a lot of lighting setup here. And what we will do is just the post-processing part, which is this other settings and the fog. So let's click on the fog, and yeah, we have it working. So yeah, this is the end result what we want. I will show you a little bit more about the fog in a bit. So now you can see that the buildings are sort of in the dark, and you can't see the break in the scene, where the scene sort of ends, because it's blending into the distance. Yeah, so this is exactly what we want. And also, yeah, the cars now makes a little bit more sense, because again, I mean the cars on the sky, because they are dark, similar with the building, and everything sort of works nice together. So how to do this? Because usually you will have something like linear, and there is a standard, and maybe there will be different color. Usually like the color you want to use, like if you are in this cyberpunk age, you want something dark blue. If you are in a forest, maybe a little bit greenish. If you are on an island, maybe the light bluish, or just pick the color of your scene. And then what I really like is this, like you can do exponential, which like farther you are, the much more fog you get, and it starts to blend nicely, but then you get a lot of fog quite close to you as well. And I don't know, I don't like that setup too much, but what I really like this exponential squared, which makes it much like closer to you. You will not get almost any fog, but and it will look good, it will all be sharp like you can see here, but then at certain distance it will blend very nicely all the way, which is usually, or which is what we want in this scene, and what I like to work with in general. So yeah, this exponential square, and basically you have just one value here that you can play with. Let's save this one and let's see what happens when we play with it. So if you put like something really low, yeah, it's basically not doing anything. Let's put it more, so yeah, so we can start to see it in the buildings a little bit. If we put it on 1, yeah, it starts to blend as we would like, but we still need a little bit more. Yeah, and now you can see the buildings are blended, but we can still see the break, which this could be already fine if our scene is a little bit bigger. So 3, yeah, this is nice. I think this could work actually quite perfectly. Maybe just a little bit more. Yeah, I had it at 5 because I like the scene to be a little bit more dark, and yeah, I like that feel a little bit more. But yeah, this is more how you feel, and we can, if we do it, if we overdo it, you can get it like really close. So yeah, that's usually what we don't want. But yeah, options. And you can get almost everything except for the car that's really close to us. So you can play with this setup and make it look exactly like you want. Yeah, and that's it. We created the scene that we wanted. You can play with it quite a lot. There's a lot of settings. This was just the most basic setup, and as I said, step number 1, create the post-process. Let's go here. Yeah, post-process, volume, color grading, super good, bloom. Yeah, it can add huge stuff to your scene as well. And don't forget to put the post-process layer with the post-process name in your scene. If you use different post-process layer, you use it here, and then you use it also here on your camera, you will see it in your scene, but it will not work in Somnium. So yeah, don't do that. And yeah, with that, congratulations, you made something beautiful today, and see you next time. Goodbye.